Well, hello. It's that time again at the beginning of the week for me to connect with you, my dear parishioners at Our Lady of the Woods. This is Father Bob Johnson. As we come to this week of October 5th, 2020, we come in this moment to connect. I'd like to start today with a prayer called Autumn Praise by Bob Hostletler. I praise you, Lord, for autumn, for falling temperatures and morning chill. Trees turned gold and red, brown and orange. Falling leaves and blowing leaves, the smell of burning leaves, the joy of leaf pile jumping. I praise you, Lord, for autumn, the interplay of outside temperatures and inside warmth, the promise of cider and pumpkin bread, the blessing of blankets and sweaters. I praise you, Lord, for autumn, the beauty and hope in the change of season, the promise that the coming of autumn heralds another ending, a new beginning, and the wonder of another winter, another spring, another summer, yet to come. I praise you, Lord, for autumn. Well, I think autumn has definitely come upon us at this time. Just a few announcements. As we begin the month of October, as we have begun the season of autumn, of course, as I shared last weekend in church, that October is the month of Our Lady of the Rosary. So I would encourage you as families or as individuals to pray the Rosary together. As I shared at one of the Masses, sometimes we may not feel like we have time for the whole Rosary at the moment. So what I have been trying to do is break it up. I'll say one decade in the morning. I get to the second decade mid-morning. I'll get to around lunch or in the afternoon, third decade. In the later afternoon, early evening, the fourth decade. And then before I go to bed sometime, the fifth decade. Please remember, though, the power of the Rosary, the beauty of that, and the call forth of really, it's so, as Pope John Paul II said, St. John Paul II, that it's very Christ-centered, but yet we're walking through with the best tour guide we could ever have, Mary, our Mother. So a few announcements. This week we will continue with families of parishes. I have asked 20 parishioners, and about, 45% of them have responded to help me as we begin the next process of family of parishes. They'll need to go online to take a survey by October 9th. These same 20 parishioners then will meet with me. We have a staff meeting this Thursday, so after the staff meeting, I'll let those 20 know what day and time we will meet for our second step. And then the third step will be coming along after that, where we'll have members of the AOD, our Archdiocese of Detroit, coming in to help us in the third step, which is the SWOT analysis. And that will be where an MSP missionary comes in for a 2-hour SWOT exercise with our 20 leaders, and that will be done before November 19th. I guess it gives the Archdiocese and the future assignment board, all of that, a real sense of our parish and what we're really looking for as a family of parishes. So I want to thank those 20 who I have asked to be part of that group. The Parish Grounds, you will see as we continue to try to develop them. The second flagpole will go in. That's the same size as the first one, of the American flag, out of flag etiquette, so that we can hang the second flag, because the Vatican is also a small country, but it is our Catholic faith, the Vatican flag, and it's beautiful if you look at the symbols, the keys, the symbols of the keys, where Jesus gives Peter the keys of the kingdom. So that that new flagpole is coming in soon, and it will be the same size as the American one. We also have Our Lady of Lavon. We're going to do more kind of landscaping around her and a little position her in a little different location, so that we can continue to celebrate the Marian apparition of the Vietnamese community. And I want to thank the Vietnamese community for their very generous contributions towards the statue. This week we'll be getting some input from a couple landscapers on that. And then finally, John Hackinson, our parish Boy Scout, will begin the Stations of the Cross outdoors, hopefully this coming Wednesday. And then you'll see over the weekend at the Masses, part of his project is to present a video to all of you explaining a little more about the project. So that's a little about the grounds. This coming weekend, we're very excited. We have our first communicants going to make their first communion. There'll be 9 of them. The Friday evening before, they will make their first confession and have a little rehearsal. So I ask you to please pray for them. Also, we're very excited that the following weekend then, on Saturday, October 17th at 1 p.m., Bishop Battersby will be with us as he bestows the sacrament of confirmation on 12 of our young men and young women. And again, on the Friday before, on October 16th at 6 p.m., they will come for the sacrament of reconciliation and for rehearsal. As I said over the weekend, our parish is still alive and well. We just had a wedding over the weekend. We baptized, had another baptism. We've had 4 or 5 of those. We're having a few more coming up. So we've been, in some ways, I don't want to bring it up. It can be unfortunate, but we've also had masses of resurrection, with some of our loved ones that have gone on. But it's the full circle of life. And so I really do believe, autumn is here and it seems like it's getting colder and, the trees are starting to turn colors. Some are starting to fall. It almost seems like it's an ending, as I read in the first prayer here today. And yet I see that life, the breath of life through the parish, even more so than at the beginning of the pandemic. And we have other groups that are meeting faithfully now, the Catholic Women's, the Ushers. There'll be the RCIA is meeting, the Evangelization Committee. So there are a number of groups and moments that are breathing life into our parish right now. So let us continue especially to pray for our first communicants and our confirmation candidates. We also want to remind you that there are faith formation courses being offered. This is the printout. It was in the bulletin. You can get a copy either here at the office, ring the bell for the door, or we can mail one, or it's in church. So you're very, I hope, you're very encouraged to look at, what could one of these events, or maybe all of them, or some of them, somehow speak to you. As I say all the time, every one of us continues to grow in our faith. So none of us have arrived. So we all need to continue to further our, studies, our faith growth in coming to know God even more. So I encourage you, which means that this coming Friday, I will be offering the first part of the movie Power in My Hands. It's about the Rosary, and it will be right after Mass. It's a very beautiful celebration of the Rosary. Power in My Hands is a film that uncovers the beauty, timelessness, and power of the Rosary, and its primary purpose is to help viewers understand the power to revitalize America, truly a society in spiritual crisis. So we'll have it this Friday, October 9th after Mass, the first part, and then on October 23rd, we'll have the second part. So I invite you to come to that. If you can't get to the Mass, certainly come around 9:35. We'll be ready about then to begin. It will only take less than an hour. We'll be done by 10:30. So please know that that's our first kind of faith formation moment this coming Friday, October 9th, right after Mass. Or, of course, you're invited, as Pat Butler wants to remind me all the time, that you can come for the RCIA courses that she is offering now. I think we have 4 candidates, and she's inviting you Thursdays from 7 to 8:30 p.m., and you're very welcome to come to any of those sessions. With sometimes there'll be catechumens, or this year we have, Pat was just informing me, we have candidates. So they've already made some of their sacraments. So please know, adult faith formation, very important. You don't want to grow stagnant or become dormant. Let's see what else we got going on here in the parish. On a personal note, I will be gone next week after the Monday morning Mass, and I will be back in the parish Thursday evening. So next week, October 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, so 12th to the 16th, next week there will be a Monday Mass on the 12th and a Friday Mass on the 16th. But I would invite you to go on the Tuesday and the Thursday, or even on the Wednesday. Go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to either St. Roch's in Flat Rock or St. Timothy's in Trenton. But St. Roch's on Wednesdays, Father takes the same day as I take off. So there are Masses available at St. Roch's on the Tuesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. St. Timothy's, though, has Mass Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. So we also have an announcement. Please do not send your CSA payment to OLO. Please send it to the AOD directly. Now, I know there was a little mess right there because what had happened, the AOD is handling that this year, although we still have Steve that's monitoring it here for our representative. But what's happened is that something was sent to you, and then there was another thing sent from me. And it was just like that got crossed in the mail. So it's all being dealt with the AOD. Now, they had asked me to write you something, I don't know, 2 months ago maybe, and I sent it in. And so now I'm told by some parishioners, the first letter came, many of you responded, but then you got this letter that I sent and you're confused. So just know that I think that was just letters crossing in the mail. So I would encourage you, and I thank you for your generosity. I know it's hard, and some of you are not able to do that at this time, but just even if you can pray, we have some very generous people in our parish, and I'm very grateful for all of you. So if you can be generous financially, that's truly a blessing. But if you are able to be generous through your prayers for our parish, that's just equally as beautiful and very much needed and very important. So please, as Becky is reminding me, do not send your CSA payments here. Please send them to the AOD directly. Well, I think that's about it for me today. I'm going to close with an autumn poem. And then I have just a little, you know, how I always have to give a little humorous thing at the end. You know, some people call it the dad joke or whatever you want to call it, the pananana joke. But I just hope you have a great week. And as I'm sitting here, you know, the beautiful blue skies are out. There are some leaves turning. And actually for me, October is my favorite month of the year. I won't say that it's because of October 7th. But I just love that. That's the one thing I miss being in the Caribbean for my 25 years. I miss the autumn, you know, the smell of the leaves and the smoke, the fire, the changing of colors, you know, the apple orchards, all of that. So I close with a poem by Katie Furman entitled An Autumn Twilight. The autumn evenings filled with peace. The night birds softly call. The hint of frost, the waking stars, the smoky air of fall. The deer pass down the wooded trail, the year's last crickets sing, while summer flowers bow and weep on fields that wait for spring. And I walk on in happiness, out where blue twilight goes. They are followed by the wolf-like dog we call the Arctic rose. To see the things that God has made, that from the stars above, to fiery trees in autumn's dress, reflect his endless love. I love that last verse, to see the things that God has made, to fiery trees in autumn's dress, reflect his endless love. Beautiful. So I close with this cartoon. And there's one little tree left sighing on the branch. Big deep sigh, that lonely leaf. And what does that last leaf say? I think I missed my falling in life. What a vocation promo to say, I think I missed my falling in life. Is it time for you to fall from the tree? Gracefully, of course, into your vocation. Anyway, have a beautiful, bright autumn day and a beautiful, bright autumn week. God bless you and take care.